Happy Memorial Day and welcome into the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. Coming up on today's show, we are breaking down the 14 players set to make official visits this weekend to Tuscaloosa, plus one other player as well that's going to be visiting Alabama, but it will not be an official visit, so we'll break all of that down here on today's show. Before we get into that, though, Alabama has made the NCAA baseball tournament. They will be in the Hattiesburg Regional. Southern Miss, Columbia, Miami, and the Crimson Tide all going to be playing in that regional there. So let me know down in the comment section, can Alabama go to a super regional? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Go ahead and spam those RTRs down there. Roll Tide, whatever you guys want down in the comment section. All right, the first guy we're talking about here is Jett Tamala. He is one of the most recent Alabama quarterback offers in this 2026 recruiting cycle. Now, he will be visiting Alabama this weekend, and originally the first report that I saw yesterday was 247 Sports said it was an official visit, but then Bama Online saying it's an unofficial visit. He's going to be traveling there on his own dime, so I would assume it's just probably a typo there in the tweet from 247 Sports. But either way, it's really big because Jett Tamala is right now committed to Iowa State. So just the fact that he's going to come down to Tuscaloosa on his own dime, I think it says a lot about the interest level that Jett Tamala has with the Crimson Tide. Now, Alabama really the two biggest, names right now for Alabama in terms of that quarterback position in this 2026 class is Matt Ponitowski and Jett Tamala. Ponitowski is not, committed anywhere yet. We've talked about him wanting to play both baseball and football. Whether or not Alabama's going to let him do that, is yet to be seen. But, two big-time names here, and really only the only two players right now at that quarterback position that Alabama is really targeting. And of note as well, both of these guys are going to be participating in the Elite 11 competition in Los Angeles. I think that's like June 19th or something like that is when that kicks off. So two big-time names there, but Jett Tamala, very, very notable, will be visiting Alabama. I'm going to assume it's going to be the unofficial visit there for Tamala. We'll see. He does also have an official visit set up with Iowa State. I think that is on June 6th, if I remember correctly. I've got that written down right there. June 6th is his official visit there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if he gets an official visit set up at some point as well. But one thing, in terms of this quarterback, search for Alabama in this 2026 class. You remember back to last offseason when Alabama was going after Keelan Russell. He didn't actually officially visit Alabama until May 31st. So the exact same weekend a year ago this weekend is when Keelan Russell made his official visit, ended up flipping from SMU just a couple of days later there on June 4th. So you never know what could happen. Alabama definitely does a very, very good job in terms of these official visits and really rolling out the red carpet for a lot of these recruits. So we'll see what happens with Jett Tamala, but as of right now, he is committed to Iowa State, but you never know. There's a chance that Alabama could flip him. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Alabama will flip Jett Tamala? Not necessarily this weekend, but possibly in the future. Let me know what you guys think at the pinned comment of today's video. Type Y for yes or N for no. All right, let's stay on the offensive side of the ball here first. Next four guys here. KJ Edwards, he is the number 3 running back in this class. Now, he does have a commitment date set already. That's going to be on August 2nd. So he's going to go through his official visits and whatnot and, just see all the different schools that he wants to go to before making his official commitment. Booby Feaster, we talked about him a lot as well. The number 4 wide receiver in this class, one spot above KJ Edwards in the overall 247 Sports composite rankings at that number 41 spot. Really love this kid. Really hope Alabama can get him in this class, but there are some other schools really doing a number on him. Also, the number 6 player out of the state of Texas, Ryan Mosley, another wide receiver, a little bit lower in terms of the rankings there, but definitely another guy that Alabama really does like, the number 27 wide receiver, but still a top 200 player in this 2026 recruiting cycle. And then tight end Xavier Tiller, we talked about him just a couple videos ago as well. The number 10 tight end, number 205 overall. We'll see what happens, but Alabama definitely wants to get, these guys in this class. And imagine if Alabama were to be able to get the number 2 running back in Xavier Crowell and the number 3 running back in KJ Edwards. That'd be an insane backfield for years to come for the Crimson Tide. Let's go over to the offensive line now. We talked about Malachi Lee yesterday, the number 10 offensive tackle in this class. Deacon Schmidt as well, another guy that we really haven't talked about that much, but interior offensive lineman, as well as Bryson Cooley. Not the most probably not the best picture to use there for him, but all 3 of these guys, absolutely massive human beings. Malachi Lee, 6'7", 320 pounds. Deacon Schmidt, 6'5", 320 pounds. Bryson Cooley, 6'7", 315 pounds. So if you remember back to, Alabama's recruiting class last year at that offensive line spot, a lot of people were kind of talking about the fact that they were a little bit on the smaller side. Not small by any means, but, they weren't 6'7", 320 pounds coming out of high school. So Alabama looking in this second recruiting class under Kalen DeBoer and this Alabama coaching staff going a little bit bigger in terms of that offensive line. If they want to get those guys down a little bit, they can definitely do that. Or if they even want to get them a little bit bigger, they can do that. It's pretty easy, once you get into these Division I, especially SEC weight rooms, they can do a lot with their bodies. But 3 more offensive linemen there set to make their official visits here to Alabama this weekend. Now, Father's Day is right around the corner, so if you guys want a really solid Father's Day gift, you guys can go over to chatsports.com/Bama Polo, and you can get hooked up with the Alabama Scenic Polo today. Got a lot of things on there. They got Bryant-Denny Stadium. They got pennants on there. They got different buildings around campus. Denny Chimes, the band practice field. I want to say Coleman Coliseum is even on there as well. That's on sale right now, so you guys can go over to chatsports.com/Bama Polo and get that today. I'll put that link down in the comments section and the description of today's video, so you can find it very, very easily as well. But one more time for you guys, go over to chatsports.com/Bama Polo and get that polo today. All right, let's flip it over to the defensive side of the ball now. Jett Washington, the number 4 safety in this class, the number 1 player out of the state of Nevada, is going to be making his official visit this weekend as well. Couple notes on him: 6'5", 200 pounds at that safety position, an absolutely massive human being at that safety spot. You think about a guy that Alabama got last year in Dejon Lee, also 6'5", and you think about the length that these 2 guys could bring to Alabama's secondary. I know Dejon Lee is a corner, Jett Washington is a safety, but man, you put those guys together, there's going to be a lot of length in Alabama's defensive backfield if they were to get Jett Washington in this class. And also of note, he is from Bishop Gorman High School. That is the same high school as 2025 wide receiver that Alabama got in Derek Meadows. So there is a bit of a connection there, but Jett Washington, a massive, massive 5-star. One of the only 5-stars we're actually talking about today on today's show. So let me know, get down in the comments section yet again. Let me know, what is the % chance that you guys think Alabama can land 5-star safety Jett Washington? Get down in the comments, scale it for me, 0 to 100 down in the comments section. Over to the linebacker spot now. We talked about Sincere Johnson a lot. It's really interesting. 247 Sports actually has now changed him to an edge in terms of his positional ranking there. They now have him as the number 8 edge. He was listed as the number 6 linebacker, so I think Alabama's really going after him as a middle linebacker. We'll see. That obviously can change as the recruiting process goes on. And even if he were to get on campus, it can change then as well. Braden Rouse, another guy that we really haven't talked about a lot, but he has been in the, a guy that Alabama has been going after very, very hard. Number 5 linebacker in this class, number 9 player out of the state of Georgia, another top 100 guy as well. Sincere Johnson, really the top 2 schools for him, Alabama and Ohio State, him being the number 2 player out of Ohio. It's going to be tough to get him away from Ohio State. But Alabama has done a very, very good job recruiting the state of Ohio, so we'll see what happens with those 2 guys as well. Now, we've recently talked about the defensive linemen here, so I'm not going to go too much into them. But, Nolan Wilson, one of the top defensive linemen in this class, number 56 overall, Titan Davis as well. The Crimson Tide really, really like him. J.J. Finch, Kevin Ford. Alabama really wants to get anywhere probably between 3 to 5 defensive linemen in this class. This weekend, May 30th, is going to be a massive official visit weekend for these defensive linemen. Hopefully, Alabama can get a commitment out of at least one of these guys this weekend. Obviously, they already have 2 defensive linemen / edge rushers in this class already committed in Kamarian Johnson and Jamarian Matthews. So we'll see what happens with Alabama in terms of the defensive line.